you're sick, one thing that can make you feel better is when your doctor can empathize with what you're going through.
Yeah, if you've ever experienced the misery of a sinus infection or just want relief, our next guest has been there, done that. Dr. Ethan Handler is a board-certified ear, nose, and throat specialist and cosmetic surgeon, and he has undergone a balloon sinuplasty himself to relieve his sinus suffering. He's here along with Dr. Madan Kandula from Advent, who's also been through it themselves. I feel like I wanted to question, did you just do it for fun, just to like find out what it's like? Like doctors being like, hey, try this.
Just for kids. Yeah, both of you have had it though. I mean, I think, you know, like I remember when my doctor was delivering my kids, I was like, he's never done this, you know, but you guys have actually done the stuff that you're talking about. Right.
The delivery would be a little bit challenging, but this, you know, I was suffering quite a bit for months. You know, I have young kids, and it was just a sick season, you know, and so the kids passed everything around, and it was starting to affect work, and I wanted to make sure I could still, you know, help patients, and I was starting to get really bad headaches, and so I had the luxury
He's going to hand you a microphone.
Oh. You need to be the rock star today, Mother.
Yeah, we're having a problem with our equipment there. Okay,
but,
sorry, go ahead.
you know, I had the benefit of being able to just grab him after clinic and be like, you got to do this, and so.
Oh, you're supposed to hold the stick mic, our producer.
Oh, all right.
Passing it around like
now you're the rock star.
Yeah, so anyway, so I grabbed him after clinic and, you know, had him balloon my sinuses and help with that sinus
infection. How did it feel?
It's interesting because I talk to patients a lot about what to expect. But, even after having it done, I still can't quite exactly say what it felt like. It's just, there's a weird pressure sensation, but you know, it's perfectly manageable.
Yeah. What about the relief? Okay, so this is a great, this is a before and after, right, a CT scan. So this is an anatomical issue, obviously, that we're looking at, and that would be the main reason someone would have the balloon sinuplasty, right?
Correct. So, you know, it's the narrowing in the sinuses, and so when you have a sinus infection, things get inflamed, all that, you know, mucus gets trapped, and so, you know, if you don't open that area up, you know, you're not going to get effective drainage and not get resolution of symptoms.
I wondered, is the relief, was it right away for both of you after having the procedures that you had?
Did you feel relieved after you ballooned me? It's like, went well. Right. Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, I felt pretty instant gratification and relief, and I'd had a really bad headache, and so that night was so much better than the previous days, for sure.
He had an active infection going on, so a lot of times when we do this, it's more, he had a chronic infection, then there's an active infection on top of it. So what's happening in that situation, the sinuses are shutting down, and you're getting this pressure, literal pressure in your head that's building up and building up, and so when we go in there and we open those passageways, all that gunk comes out. So when we did his procedure, a lot of pus was coming out of there, which is nasty but good. I mean, it's good that that stuff goes. It's bad when that stuff's, you know, staying trapped. Short of what we did, I mean, the other option would be medications, which use on plenty of antibiotics and that sort of stuff. But if it's not draining, you know, you're stuck. You're dead in the water. And so it's just doing something to get things open, and this works.
How long does the procedure take?
It depends. I mean, it takes a little while to get the nose numbed up, so about half an hour or so. Most of that just sort of sitting around. The actual doing it, about 10, 15 minutes. Wow. Each passageway they're opening is just a few seconds to get that passageway open. So, you know, it's not a big deal by any means. I think that's, you know, for Ethan, it was one of those situations where, you know, he's done plenty of these procedures, and sort of knowing sort of secondhand how relatively easy it is makes it lower the bar to sort of say, okay, I'm done with this. I'm sick of this. Let me get some relief.
Well, I'm sure now that you know the difference that it makes to actually do this, you probably felt like, why did I suffer so long? Why did I try so many other things? When you're dealing with patients, obviously that empathy is going to translate to how they're feeling and the way that they're suffering. I would assume that people try a lot of things though before they come to this. How long before, you know, are there a lot of things that you recommend before you get to this point with other patients as well?
Right, yeah, I think a lot of patients, you know, are on antibiotics. They walk into a drugstore, they try and figure out, like, on the shelf, like, what am I supposed to...
Sinus sprays are the
right, you know, and they're very good at marketing all of their medications. You know, you walk in during the cold season and here's, you know, thousands of different things, and how are they supposed to figure out what they're supposed to use?
Yeah.
Well, and something I wanted to ask you guys, because I demonstrated my neti pot.
I saw that. I heard that's cool. Yeah.
I know. You shared it on your social
absolutely.
media page.
We love neti pots.
I love
very clean, perfectly beautiful neti pot.
Isn't that great?
It is.
But what I want to ask you is, this is great for someone like me who maybe suffers from chronic sinus infections. I'd always have a couple of year. But the anatomical issue can only be corrected. So I'm a huge fan of neti pots. I know you are too, because I asked you about it when I first started years ago, using it every day. But the anatomical issues that you guys are talking about and that you've had procedures for, the neti pot isn't going to take care of that.
Right. I mean, so the neti pot is great if it gets where it needs to get to. So for Ethan, when he had his, or before he had his procedure done, those sinus openings were shut. So you can wash water next to the openings all day and it's never going to help you. Get the sinus openings open, and that simple neti pot getting in there, getting the junk out of there helps. So it's just a matter of, it's pretty simple concept. It's nothing fancy there. If things are shut, you're not going to be able to get, blast water through those doorways.
And does it permanently stay open? So you have the balloon procedure, because you wonder, will it go back to the way it was before? How long lasting is it?
It's typically forever. So there's about a 5% chance of things wanting to shut down. Those openings are bony openings. So when we get in there and inflate that balloon, I mean, a balloon sounds flimsy. This balloon is not flimsy. When it inflates, it goes to 6 millimeters. And so whatever is in its way, it pushes it out of its way. And so again, because they're bony openings, it stays where we put it, which is a nice thing.
Okay. You guys recently opened a third location, so people can find you in 3 different places, in Mequon, in Wauwatosa, and also in Oconomowoc as well. You've got clinics there. The balloon sinuplasty is available at all locations.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
All right, so now you can find them. Here's the phone number to call for an appointment, 414-771-6780. You know spring is coming. You know those allergies are going to get you. If you're the person who's been suffering, go in and see if there's more that can be done to make your life a lot better. ADVENT.md for more. Thanks so much, you guys.
Thank you.
And thanks for talking about your experience with it. I think it helps people to know that you've actually been through it. It's really cool. Thanks so much.